We'll heat things up at ZestFest.
We'll explore the genius of Marc Chagall at the University of Dallas.
And we'll meet the artists featured in the Urban View exhibit.
All this and more coming up About Town.
Hello everyone, and welcome to About Town. I'm Susan Comyab.
And I'm Kathy Whiteman, and I'm always happy to have Susan here with us. So I want to ask you were at ZestFest over the weekend. How was it?
Oh, it was great. I love covering that every year, but I swear it's like they always manage to bring hotter and hotter foods. My face was sweating. I can't handle it, but I love it.
It's a great event. I can't wait to see your story on it later in the show. We're so glad that you could join us for details on the Irving Black Arts Council's upcoming Black History Month program.
Scott Churchill returns with a review of Hail Caesar, the new Coen Brothers film. We'll find out which local family restaurant turns 50 this year, and we'll get the scoop on this year's ICE Awards later in the show.
As always, we invite you to email us and let us know about stories you'd like to see and events you'd like to promote.
So please email us at ictn@cityofirving.org.
The tempting treats were too hot to handle at this year's Zest Fest. Susan was there to capture some of the eye-watering moments.
It is good. It's flavorful for sure.
It comes in the grenade dump.
Great. It's great. Yeah, we're excited. Would you like to sample it here?
It is in my blood. All right, I bleed hot sauce.
Put a little bit of juice in there. You don't need
I love it. We love it. We look forward to it every year.
Who else wants to try the hottest sauce?
ZestFest brought the heat to Irving this past weekend with a variety of spicy foods.
Well, we have our award-winning pickles here. They're spicy pickles, and they've got a little hint of Carolina Reaper powder and ghost pepper powder in them.
So we do candied jalapenos, and we do them original with no chocolate, dark chocolate, milk chocolate, white chocolate, a dark chocolate bark, and a jalapeno simple syrup.
We also have some award winners. Our sweet and spicy strawberry jam took first place in condiments and best of show in People's Choice in 2014. And we also had some award winners last night. We won golden chilies for our ketchup, our spicy ketchup. That's based with habanero instead of jalapeno. And then also our habanero jelly pecan pie.
Of course, nothing got people's mouths burning more than hot sauces.
We hand make and handcraft all of our sauces. We've got a mild, medium, hot, and extra hot. My background is kind of Polynesian in Hawaii, so a lot of mine are a little bit sweeter with a little bit of kick to them too.
But those looking for a fiery challenge went on to face the execution station.
And we do it as a hot sauce challenge. So we start off this year with the Scotch bonnet pepper, and then each sauce gets progressively hotter. So the challenge is pretty simple. They climb up the ladder and they challenge themselves to be able to take the heat as each sauce gets hotter and hotter and hotter.
For most, it was a taste test that had them sweating.
Very hot. Very hot. Yes, it was.
However, for ZestFest regular Carrie Weeks, the execution station proved to be a breeze.
2.3 million Scoville.
That's got a nice flavor to it.
Facing the hottest sauce of them all, the Black Mamba.
Your eyes are tearing up.
Yeah, they've been doing that since about level 4.
Though it's hardly a struggle for him, every year Carrie looks forward to the execution station.
I like hot and spicy, whether it's the blow your head off or the nice, good flavors that go with it. And this is the best place to get everything all at one place.
We've beat the heat with milk and even soda, but this year there's a new pain reliever to cool down our mouths.
We have a rosemary dip and a southwestern dip mixed with sour cream. The dairy will help eliminate the heat inside your taste buds and everything, get you ready for the next round.
So whether you're looking for the hottest spices,
I can't feel my mouth.
or the most flavorful foods, ZestFest has all the ingredients to awaken your taste buds.
Isn't that?
Oh my God, my nose.
Did you like it?
It is what did you say that goes straight to your nostrils?
For About Town, this is Susan Comyab.
That's good.
Up next at the Irving Convention Center, Sci-Fi Expo runs February 12th and 13th. To learn more, visit irvingconventioncenter.com.
The Irving Black Arts Council kicks off their celebration of Black History Month with the new exhibit, Urban View Contemporary Art and Design. Amshi Stephenson met the featured artist and brings us this story.
For the last 15 years, the Irving Black Arts Council has hosted their annual art exhibit in conjunction with Black History Month. This year, the exhibit is titled Urban View, Contemporary Art and Design.
For the main gallery here at the Irving Art Center, the entire month of February, the Irving Black Arts Council take over, and you can come and go for the entire month.
It features the artwork of 5 local artists who were handpicked by IBAC, giving them the exposure on a professional level.
We do a call for entry for each year's exhibit. And if that call for entry don't yield a lot of people, we reach out to them. But to be honest, we have people calling us.
I'm a member of the Irving Black Art Council, and I pretty much help curate the show as far as like finding other artists, and I just happen to be an artist as well. And so I was lucky enough to actually be a part of it, to display my own textiles and my own art as well.
Shalana contacted me, and I was more than happy to say yes to be a part.
I had the pleasure of being invited to showcase some of my artwork.
The artwork ranges from textiles to acrylics, all the way to street art creations.
Acrylic is very versatile. It dries fast.
You know, when you're in the street, you're using spray paint, and spray paint is something that's it's a bit more forgiving. You can kind of make a mistake or just kind of make shapes and things it's more like layering, and you're cutting back and you're cleaning up stuff, and it's a bit more free.
With so many beautiful pieces to choose from, the talented artists share their proudest work from their collection.
Spoken word is it's probably like one of my favorite pieces. I have a combination of a lot of art where I put together particular pieces where I'll have spoken words coming from their mouths, and I find them to be inspirational because it's the silhouette of a woman, and I'm all about women empowerment.
I love them all equally, but I think my Breaking Bread piece that I have with Obama, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X, all just sitting down, relaxing. That's probably my favorite piece.
Well, it's a self-portrait. It represents just my thoughts when I'm thinking about black folks, and this is a Black History Month show, and I just kind of wanted to encourage people to think about what's going on and what we're doing as a community.
Detail, time, creativity, and inspiration are added to the mix when making these masterpieces.
I am inspired by our culture, my family, and just everyday people doing their normal day activities.
Majority of my pieces will always have some type of like vibrant colors in them, just mainly because I have a very colorful personality. So I kind of pull from stuff from in our past to kind of make it more present and more relevant today.
I'm drawn to the most mundane things. Interactions I have with people every day. When I take a walk, looking at the scenery, my mind goes in all sorts of interesting directions.
Events that have been going on in the news and in society.
Somebody that is about peace, and somebody that's about love and expressing themselves and showing respect. So that's just kind of how I live my life, and seeing other people who live that same type of life, inspires me.
All of the artwork on display in the main gallery is for sale and can be bought by the public.
Well, they can purchase it. We won't take it off the wall, but they can purchase it. Or they can contact the artist, and we have a lot of literature on each of the artists.
The art exhibit is open to the public, free of charge, through the end of this month. For more information about each artist and to see their amazing portfolios, visit irvingblacarts.com. For ICTN, this is Amshi Stephenson reporting.
Urban View Contemporary Art and Design continues in the Irving Arts Center main gallery through February 28th.
The Irving Black Arts Council continues their observance of Black History Month with a conversation with Mr. Robert L. Haynes. Mr. Haynes joins us now with a preview of your talk. So I want to introduce you to the audience as the curator of the Interurban Railway Museum. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, well, the Interurban Railway began about 1900 here in North Texas, and it grew to, it began Sherman-Denison to link the cities of North Texas together. And it ran from Sherman-Denison down as far as Waco and Corsicana. And it ran every hour on the hour, transporting goods and people and facilitating the development of trade, but not only that, electrification of North Texas.
Wow. So history that I had absolutely no knowledge about, and that sort of brings us around to the point of your talk on at the Black History Month program.
Well, I'm going to talk about Negroes and Cadillacs. And whenever this topic comes up, you get varied reactions.
Yes, you do.
On this, and I can't understand why. Growing up in Detroit, then I saw Cadillacs being manufactured and how they were held in such awe and reverence, and this was a favored car, a favored automobile for those who could afford them. And I think that there's a piece missing in the way that we look at that now. Now, I'm going to be looking at the period 1903 up until about 1960. That's the classic period in which African Americans loved their Cadillacs. And after that, it went into a different direction.
Well, I think that's a fascinating topic, and it certainly gets the mind going about the, an interesting period of history. So I know that we'll all be looking forward to that. The program is on Sunday, February 21st, folks, at 4 p.m. It's at the Irving Arts Center in Suite 200, and there's going to be some other wonderful things going on, but of course the opportunity to hear you talk about this topic, which I think you have some real interest in.
Some very interesting observations and experiences.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for being here today. We appreciate it. And we'll look forward to seeing you folks out there on February 21st. Thank you so much.
My good pleasure.
Scott Churchill returns to the show with a review of the new Coen Brothers Valentine to the early film business, Hail Caesar. And just in time for Oscar season, a look at the Academy Award nominated short films.
Mr. Mannix.
What's up?
The director can't find Baird Whitlock.
Somebody slipped it under my door. We have your movie star. Gather $100,000 and await instructions. Who are we? The future. Hello, Bert.
Hello, Mr. Mannix.
Lawrence, Hobie, thank you all for coming. The studio needs your help. Baird Whitlock has been kidnapped.
This is bad. Bad for movie stars everywhere.
She sings the perfect harmony. Let's spend 24 hours, but we're looking for him.
Hail Caesar is the latest film from the Coen brothers with a cast that includes Josh Brolin, George Clooney, Ralph Fiennes, Scarlett Johansson, Tilda Swinton, and Channing Tatum. The storyline is thin, but this tribute to movies and movie making is laced with enough clever moments to leave audiences with a good feeling. Some of the actors are only featured in a small number of scenes, such as this one featuring Scarlett Johansson.
Any more thoughts about who you might marry?
I ain't doing that again. I had 2 marriages. It just cost the studio a lot of money to bust them up.
Well, we had to have those annulled. One was to a minor mob figure.
Vince was not minor.
And Buddy Flynn was a band leader with a long history of narcotic use.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were both louses. Marrying a third louse ain't gonna do me no good.
I've offered you some very suitable, clean young men.
Pretty boys, saps and swishes. What, you think if there wasn't a good, reliable man, I wouldn't have grabbed him?
What about Arn Sesslum? He is the father, isn't he?
Yeah.
In this scene, a cowboy actor is trying to learn his lines from an English director, played to perfection by Ralph Fiennes.
Say your line exactly as I'm about to. Just as I'm about to do.
Sure, okay.
Would that it were so simple.
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 My dear boy, why do you say that? Why do you say twere?
Well, you should say it like I said it.
Yes.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple. Would that it were so simple.
Watch my mouth. Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple.
Keep your head still. Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple.
I'm trying to say that, Mr. Lawrence.
The biggest surprise and one of the best choreographed scenes is a song and dance number featuring a tap dancing Channing Tatum.
We'll be searching high and low on the deck and down below, but it's a crying shame. Oh, we'll see a lot of fish, but we'll never clock a dish. We ain't gonna see a dame. No days.
We might see some octopuses.
No days.
Or a half a dozen clams.
No days.
We might even see a mermaid.
But mermaids got no gams.
No gams.
Hail Caesar is not going to win any Oscars, but its look back at early movie making in Hollywood might just be the thing audiences are ready for in anticipation of this year's Oscars. Speaking of which, the landmark Magnolia Theater just opened its showings of the Oscar shorts, including both live-action and animated nominees, clustered together in separate back-to-back shows. They are also continuing to show Oscar-nominated feature films, including The Revenant, Brooklyn, Carol, The Danish Girl, and Son of Saul. And Oscar contender Room was just re-released and is now playing at the Inwood Theater in Dallas. Inspired by true stories of kidnappings, this film takes us beyond the captivity itself to the emotional trauma that lingers even in those who manage to survive. Sensitively directed and brilliantly acted by its small cast that includes Brie Larson and the astonishing Joan Allen, Room is a movie that will stay with you for a long time. We'll close with this clip.
In the big rock candy mountain, there's a land that's clear and bright. I'm headed for a land that's
Thanks for saving our little girl.
beside the crystal fountain.
You're gonna love it.
What? The world.
Hail Caesar is currently playing at AMC Irving Mall. And as Scott mentioned, you can catch those Oscar short films at the landmark Magnolia.
A longtime Irving favorite turns 50 this year. No, it's not me, but you'll only need one hint to guess who it is. Tell them, Charla.
Angelo's.
Angelo's Pizza. Thank you guys so much for being here. Charla Lawler, Don King. Don, you and your family have run Angelo's Pizza now for 50 years. That just never happened.
Oh no, it's just, we feel so incredibly blessed with the restaurant like it is. We've had such an incredible staff. Our staff is like our second family, and always has been. That's part of the culture of Angelo's, and it's part of the reason we've been so successful all these years.
Yeah, well, that and something about that good food.
Right. Kind of goes without saying, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. You don't have to say that at Irving anymore, absolutely. Charla, you've been at Angelo's for a good long time, haven't you?
17 years.
Wow. So what do you think it is about Angelo's that keeps those customers coming back and back and back and back?
Well, it's definitely the good food. I think a lot of our customer service, we get very personal. We all have a lot of customers. They walk in the building, we don't even have to talk to them. We bring them their food, ask them how they're doing, and I mean, our customers are awesome.
Yeah, they are, and they run the entire gamut of folk from Irving because you've got generations of families that have come to Angelo's.
We've had at least 5 generations. It's really kind of fun to see people coming back that maybe their kids came in and now they're bringing their grandkids, or even people who used to work for us at 14 or 15 years old that are now coming back with their own families.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful?
Right.
So how are you going to celebrate this year?
Well, it's really kind of fun. We're doing a lot of the things that we've done in past years as far as we're rolling back our prices. We've got a jelly bean contest. We've got raffles and giveaways every day. We're also doing a special thing this year with a shirt where people during the anniversary week, that 1 week only, they're going to buy a shirt, and that shirt will be I'm a big deal at Angelo's. And because of you wearing that shirt, you're going to get some kind of special deal for the rest of the year.
Wow. So folks get in there to Angelo's and get that shirt, right?
Absolutely.
That's right.
I think that's a great idea. So when does the fun kick off?
February 15th through the 20th, and we hope everybody comes out and does it. We really want to thank all of the people in Irving for being such generous people to us, and we want to give back when we can.
All right, so for folks who don't know, because everybody knows how to get to Angelo's, but for folks who don't know, where's Angelo's located?
Angelo's is located between Irving Boulevard and MacArthur on Pioneer Park or Pioneer Drive in Irving, right next to the Sonic.
That's right. So actually I can walk, because it's right on the corner of Rogers and Pioneer, so I can walk to Angelo's when I'm craving that lasagna. Thank you both for being here. We look forward to celebrating with you 50 fabulous years right here in Irving with Angelo's.
Fantastic. Hope you come out.
Thank you. Back to you, Susan.
Modern art comes to Irving in a major way. The University of Dallas is hosting an exhibition by one of the world's greatest modern artists, Marc Chagall. Kathy visited the Haggerty Art Gallery for a preview.
This is a world-class exhibition.
Marc Chagall is one of the most important modern artists of the 20th century.
The University of Dallas breaks new ground with an exhibit of little-seen work by modern master Marc Chagall.
Marc Chagall is known for his vibrant color, and also his distinct line.
There are 50 etchings in this exhibit by Marc Chagall.
And they're basically black and white, and so there's minimal color. It's a surprise. This is unlike, if you know Marc Chagall, this is unlike anything you've seen before.
The exhibit includes 50 hand-painted etchings that depict stories from the Bible.
But to find an artist that does the biblical stories in a fresh way and that speaks to us in the 21st century is a challenge.
Chagall's creation of the series was in itself a challenge.
He was commissioned by an art dealer, Ambroise Vollard, who worked with Picasso and all the greats. He commissioned Chagall to do these series of Bible etchings, and they were interrupted because Vollard died, and on top of that, Chagall himself was receiving some persecution and had to flee the Nazis. He was going to go to a concentration camp and be murdered. The first stage of these etchings were created between 1938 and 1939, right before Chagall had to flee.
Chagall escaped the Nazis, but it was another 20 years before he completed the Bible series. Like the greater body of his work, this series both reflects and comments on the times in which the artist lived.
The works in this show reflect historical events, major historical events. If you look at the larger body of his work, you see the influence of World War I, you see the influence of the Russian Revolution, of World War II, as I mentioned, of exile to the United States. So it's not just about being an important 20th century artist and a master printmaker, it's about being a reflection of the entire first half of the 20th century, to say the least.
The exhibit runs through April 22nd and is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
We're one of the best kept secrets, and guess what? The secret is out. Marc Chagall is here. We need you to come. You're going to be blown away.
This is Kathy Whiteman reporting.
Marc Chagall Intersecting Traditions continues in the Haggerty Art Gallery through April 22nd. The exhibit is free and open to the public.
You might just discover the next artistic genius or civic leader or neurosurgeon at the 2016 ICE Awards. Dr. Jose Parra, Irving ISD Superintendent, brings us the details. Dr. Parra, it's always a pleasure to get to see you.
And it's always a great thing to be around you, Kathy. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you so much. So the ICE Awards is one of my favorite events that the school district puts on because it's a way to talk about the great foundation that you guys are giving our students in the community. But I don't want to put words in your mouth. Tell us a little bit about the event.
Actually, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Oops, sorry.
That's a whole different thing. But anyway, this is one of my favorite events of the whole year. As you know, I started in January 2014, immediately went into the February ICE Awards in 2014, and really didn't know what to expect in that situation. But now that I've got a couple of years under my belt with the ICE Awards, I see what a remarkable event it really is. We're able to bring together individuals and groups of students, staff, and community members, actually. And what we do is we recognize excellence and achievement across this school district and this community at that event. And so it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to see just a wide range of things that are taking place all across this school district, all across Irving. It's a fantastic thing, and I encourage anyone who really wants to get a sense of what happens every day throughout the year to come and attend the ICE Awards.
I'm so glad that you said that because it really is a way to get a very comprehensive look at the things that happen, because there's an athletes category and there's a scholars category. There's even an introduction at the beginning of the kids that have made the commitment to be at school every single day, which is a huge commitment.
I call that the You Must Be Present to Win award, actually. But there are about 7 different categories that are recognized at that event, that evening. And so certainly the attendance, the perfect attendance is one of those areas. And so we'll have students who have attended 12 consecutive years, 13 consecutive years, and 14 consecutive years without an absence. Pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, that is phenomenal. One of the things that I don't know if people know about the ICE Awards is that there actually is a monetary award that goes to schools to recognize various programs that they put in place. Can you describe that?
I can't describe the dollar amounts necessarily, but I can tell you this. Every one of the winners does actually receive a monetary award. It varies in the amounts, obviously, but the grand prize of all is I believe it's the Crystal Award for the evening, which everyone looks forward to. It's a large dollar figure, by the way.
Well, and folks, if you want to know those dollar figures, it looks like you're going to have to come to the ICE Awards to find out. I think that was the perfect way to do that, Dr. Parr.
There's no other way to do it.
Absolutely. So the event is February 18th at Irving High School. The reception begins at 6 o'clock and the event starts at 7. I'll be there again. Thank you so much for having me back, and I'm looking forward to it.
Always a pleasure. Thanks so much, Kathy.
Thank you, Dr. Parr. Back to you, Susan.
Here's another look at the beautiful work featured in Urban View Contemporary Art and Design, and a list of cool things to do about town.
And here are some other exciting events happening about town. Lyric Stage presents the amazing Julie Johnson as Patsy Cline in Closer Walk with Thee, running February 12th through 21st in the Dupree Theater. And just in time for Valentine's Day, Romance is in the Air with the Irving Symphony Orchestra. Take your sweetheart to Carpenter Performance Hall on Saturday, February 13th at 8 p.m. for an evening of beautiful music.
One night only, the Irving Arts Center presents the Mayhem Poets Thursday, February 18th at 7:30 p.m. in Carpenter Performance Hall. Don't miss this evening of award-winning slam poetry, comedy, and more. And the Lone Star Youth Orchestra presents Made in America on Wednesday, February 24th at 7:30 p.m. in Carpenter Performance Hall. For tickets and information for all these events, call 972-252-ARTS. And that wraps up this edition of About Town. Thanks for joining us.
Please be sure to tune in next time for highlights from Sci-Fi Expo 2016.
We'll also bring you a look at the teen talent competition, Irving's Got Talent, and highlights from Irving Black Arts Council Black History Month program.
We'll leave you tonight with another look at the 2016 Martin Luther King Jr. observance. For About Town, I'm Kathy Whiteman.
And I'm Susan Comyab. Have a great evening.
Eve of destruction, destruction, city respecters, never let us